Celebrities in a nutshell.
Joseph Stalin, the tyrant who shaped Soviet history. Welcome back to Celebrities in a Nutshell, where we explore the lives and legacies of the most influential and controversial figures in history. Today, we're delving into the life of Joseph Stalin, the man who led the Soviet Union through some of its most tumultuous years and left an indelible mark on the 20th century. Join us as we uncover his journey from revolutionary to dictator and the impact he had on the world. Joseph Vissarionovich Stalin was born as Iosif Vissarionovich Dzhigashvili on December 18, 1878, in the small town of Gori in Georgia, then part of the Russian Empire. His early life was marked by hardship. His father was a cobbler who struggled with alcoholism, and his mother worked as a laundress. Despite these challenges, Stalin excelled academically and earned a scholarship to attend the Tbilisi Theological Seminary. It was at the seminary that Stalin first encountered revolutionary ideas. He became involved with Marxist groups, which eventually led to his expulsion in 1899. This marked the beginning of his lifelong commitment to the revolutionary cause. Stalin quickly became a dedicated member of the Bolshevik faction of the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party, led by Vladimir Lenin. He was involved in various revolutionary activities, including bank robberies to fund the party's activities and organizing strikes. His ruthless efficiency and loyalty caught Lenin's attention, and he began to rise through the ranks. The 1917 Russian Revolution was a turning point in Stalin's life. The Bolsheviks overthrew the provisional government and established a socialist state. In the new Soviet regime, Stalin was appointed Commissar of Nationalities, a role that gave him significant influence over the diverse ethnic groups within the Soviet Union. After Lenin's death in 1924, a power struggle ensued among the Bolshevik leadership. Stalin, who had been appointed General Secretary of the Communist Party, used his position to outmaneuver his rivals, including Leon Trotsky. By the late 1920s, Stalin had consolidated power and became the unchallenged leader of the Soviet Union. One of Stalin's most significant policies was the implementation of the five-year plans, aimed at rapidly industrializing the Soviet Union. These plans prioritized heavy industry and collectivized agriculture, leading to significant economic transformation. However, the human cost was immense. Forced collectivization led to widespread famine, most notably the Holodomor in Ukraine, which resulted in millions of deaths. Stalin's rule was marked by extreme repression. The Great Purge of the late 1930s saw the elimination of perceived enemies within the Communist Party, military, and wider society. Millions were executed, imprisoned, or sent to labor camps in the Gulag system. Stalin's use of terror was a tool to maintain his grip on power and eliminate dissent. World War II was another defining period of Stalin's leadership. Initially, the Soviet Union signed a non-aggression pact with Nazi Germany, but in 1941, Hitler broke the pact and invaded the Soviet Union. Stalin's leadership during the war was a mix of strategic decisions and brutal measures. Despite initial setbacks, the Red Army eventually turned the tide, culminating in the capture of Berlin in 1945. The end of World War II marked the beginning of the Soviet Union's emergence as a superpower. Stalin's influence extended beyond the Soviet borders, leading to the establishment of communist regimes in Eastern Europe and the onset of the Cold War. Stalin's policies and actions during this period shaped the geopolitical landscape for decades. Stalin's later years were characterized by increasing paranoia and continued repression. He died on March 5, 1953, of a stroke, leaving behind a legacy that is both complex and deeply controversial. After Stalin's death, his successor Nikita Khrushchev initiated a process of de-Stalinization, denouncing Stalin's cult of personality and his brutal methods. Khrushchev's secret speech in 1956 revealed the extent of Stalin's purges and abuses, shocking the Soviet populace and the world. Stalin's legacy remains a subject of intense debate. In Russia and other former Soviet states, opinions about him are deeply divided. Some view him as a strong leader who modernized the Soviet Union and led it to victory in World War II, while others condemn him for the widespread atrocities and repression that characterized his rule. Historians continue to examine Stalin's impact on the Soviet Union and the world. His policies transformed the Soviet Union into an industrial and military superpower, but at a tremendous human cost. The debates about his legacy reflect broader questions about the nature of power, ideology, and the use of state violence. In modern Russia, Stalin's image has seen a resurgence in some quarters, reflecting a complex mixture of nostalgia, nationalism, and selective memory. Statues of Stalin have been erected, and some Russians credit him with making the Soviet Union a powerful state. However, the darker aspects of his rule are also increasingly acknowledged and remembered. Joseph Stalin's life was a journey from a small town in Georgia to the pinnacle of power in the Soviet Union. His leadership brought about profound changes, both positive and negative, that shaped the 20th century and continue to influence the world today. Understanding Stalin's legacy requires a nuanced consideration of both his achievements and the immense suffering he caused. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Joseph Stalin's life and legacy. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe to Celebrities in a Nutshell for more deep dives into the lives of history's most influential figures. Let us know in the comments what you think about Joseph Stalin and who you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.